Welcome to Math with Mrs. Cox. We're on Chapter 10, Lesson 7, page 745 in your math book. This lesson, we are multiplying mixed numbers. Hopefully you have watched the math video, Math with Mr. J, to help understand how to multiply mixed numbers. Let's begin. A blueberry muffin recipe calls for a half a cup of, that's telling us it's multiplication, 3.5 times more blueberries. How many cups of blueberries are needed to make the pie? So we understand that we are doing 1/2 times 3.5 and shade the squares to represent the product. This is where it gets a little tricky. So we're going to do the C method like Mr. J suggested. We go like this, times, and then plus. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So we have 1/2 times 7 over 2. So how many squares are we going to shade? They want us to shade 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 squares. Now this is where it gets tricky. They take these 7 squares that are shaded, they rearrange them like Legos. Okay? And here's what it looks like. Then they break them into groups of 4, so we have 1 and 3/4 left over. Okay, do you follow? So this is how it works out to be your answer. So 7 times 1 is 7. 2 times 2 is 4. So we have 7 sections that are shaded, but only need 4 for each model. So we can see that there is a whole number hiding in there. So if we simplify that, 4 will go into 7 one time with 3 left over out of the 4. So our answer is 1 3/4. This is multiplication with mixed numbers. Like Mr. J said, you have to turn it into just a single numerator and a single denominator. So it's going to be top heavy, then you multiply. Key concept. To multiply mixed numbers, write the mixed number as improper fractions or top heavy, then multiply with fractions. Here we have 2 fractions. We need to write them as mixed numbers. So let's do the C method. Times and plus. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So we have 3 over 2. Do the C method here. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15/4. Now we have a numerator and denominator. Now we can multiply them across. Okay? So 3 times 15 is 45. 2 times 4 is 8. So that's the number we're dealing with. Of course, we're going to write it down here. And we know that we can simplify. 8 will go into 45. How many times? At least 5, with 5 left over. And our denominator is going to be 8. So 5 and 5/8 is our answer. And this is how they've shaded it over here. They have gone up 3, 1, 2, 3. And over 15 to shade them in. The shading models is not my favorite. Okay, number 1, find it. Let's do the C method. Times plus. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So we have 21/5. Got that right there. Times 1/2. 21 times 1 is 21. 5 times 2 is 10. So then we have 21 over 10ths. Now we need to figure out how many whole numbers are hiding in that because it is top heavy. So take 21 divided by 10. It'll go into it at least twice. And that'll be 20. There'll be 1 left over. And then our denominator is 10. So 2 and 1/10. Okay, make sure you leave plenty of room. Do the C method. Times plus. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So we have 4 thirds times 2 over 3. Now there isn't anything I can simplify. Can't simplify anything across, and then I just need to multiply them across. 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9. So we have 8/9. And I don't believe we can simplify that any greater than that. So that's our answer. Okay, I'm going to do the C method to this. Times plus 2 times 4 is 8 plus 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 2 fifths, 11 fourths. 2 times 11 is 22. 5 times 4 is 20. It is top heavy, so I know there's a whole number hiding in there. So I can take out a whole number, which is 20 20ths, one whole number. 22 minus 20 equals 2 left over, and the denominator is 20. And I know I can simplify that and be a ninja. 2 can go into 2 one time. 2 can go into 20 10 times. So my answer is going to be 1 1/10. Number 4, let's do the C method on this. Times plus. 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have 18 over 5 times 1 over 4. Okay, now I see that I can simplify. I know that 2 goes into this twice, and 2 goes into this 9 times. Remember, you can simplify at this stage, or you can simplify at the end. So that I have 9/10. Number 25, we can do the C method. Times plus. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 2 times 21 over 5. Ooh, look at this. Goes into it once, goes into it once. 1 times 21 is 21. 2 times 1 is 2. That's pretty top heavy. I know that 2 will go into 21 at least 10 times. 10 times 2 is 20 with 1 left over. So I'm going to have 10, 1 left over, and my denominator is 2 is my answer. Okay, do the C method where you multiply and plus. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4 thirds. 3 times 3 is 9, 10, 11 thirds. Doesn't look like I can simplify anywhere, so we're going to times it across. 44/9. Oh, goodness, that's really big. So I know 9 will go into 44 at least 4 times. And that's 36. 36 would be 8 left over. So I'm going to have 4 whole numbers with 8 left over, and 9 is my denominator. So almost 5, but not quite enough. Number 7, C method. Times plus. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22 fifths. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7 fourths. Okay, doesn't look like, oh, I can simplify. 2 can go into this twice. 2 can go into that 11 times. So now I've got 11 times 7 is 77. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, I know 10 will go into 77 at least 7 times with 7 left over, and 10 is my denominator. Okay, remember we have to turn this into an improper fraction. We do that by doing the C method. Times plus. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14 over 5. C method. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 1 is 49 over 8. Okay, see if we can simplify. Ooh, we can over here. I know 2 will go into this 4 times. 2 will go into this 7 times. Can't simplify anywhere else. Okay, so let's do over here, do 49 times 7, because that's what we're going to get when we do that. So that would be 63, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So 343 and 20. So then you can do 343, 20. Well, I know it'll go into 34 once. 14. Bring down 3. Let's see. There's 5 of them in 100. 6 sevens. Probably got 7 more. So if I do that, 140, there's going to be 3 left over. So it'll go into it 17 times with 3 left over, and 20ths is my denominator. That was a crazy big number. That's what the book says. All right, C method. Times plus 6 times 1 is 6, plus 5 is 11. 6 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. And I can't simplify anything along this. So let's do 13 times 11. Equals 143. 6 times 3 is 18. Goodness sakes, these are not getting any easier. So we need to do 143 divided by 18. Well, it won't go into 14, so I have to go into 143. So 18 is really close to 20. 5 of them in 100, 6, 7. So 18 times 7. So 7 of them, 126. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oof. So I'm going to have 7 with 17 18ths. Oof. Almost 8. These are some ugly numbers. Jiminy crickets. Okay, number 10. C method. Times plus. 5 times 2 is 10, 11, 12, 13. C method. Times and plus. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 7, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, over 8. And there's nothing there I can simplify, so I'm going to have to use some of this space over here so I can do my work. So I have 31 times 13. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times that is 9. I'm going to do this section next, do a placeholder. 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 1 is 3, 9, 409. Okay, so this is 409, and 5 times 8 is 40. Okay. 409 divided by 40. 40 will go into 40 once. 1 times 40 is 40. Bring down the 9. 40 will not go into 9. Bring down the 0. So then would be 0. So we have 9 left over. So our answer will be 10 and 9 40ths. Whew, that was a booger. Got it. Now they want us to write a multiplication equation represented by each model and shade it. Whew. Okay, we just have to write it. We don't have to solve it. Notice they said write. Okay, so we take this number and this number. So 1/2 times 2/2. Okay. But then you do sort of need to solve to figure out how much to shade. So C method, 2 times 1 plus 1. 2 would be 3/2 times C method 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 2. Now comes where we shade it in. Right here tells us we shade in 3 going up. This one here tells us we do 5 across. Then we fill in the overlapping. Confused yet? Here we go. Oh, they do want us to solve it. Okay, we can do that. 15 over 4. So 4 go into 15 3 times, because it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 2 fourths, which equals 3 1/2. Oof. No, that's not right. Okay, so 14, 4 will go into 15 3 times. It'd be 12, 13, 14, 15, and 3 fourths left over. There we go. Okay, next one. They do want us to solve. 1 2 thirds times 2 1/4. Okay, do the C method. So 3 times 1 is 3, 4, 5. Now we have one numerator and one denominator. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9 fourths times. Ooh, we can simplify. Now we do 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 4 is 4. Hey, do you recognize that? That looks really similar to this one over here, so I know that the simplified answer must be that answer too. All right, let's shade it in. This one wants us to go up 5 and then over 9. So we're going to go up 5 and then over 9. All right, we are multiplying 1 2 thirds and 2 3 fourths. All right, can do the C method. So 3 times 1 is 3, 4, 5, 5 thirds. 4 times 2 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 fourths. So before we go through and solve it, let's go ahead and color, shall we? So this right here tells us how many we go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one tells us how many we go over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And color what's in between them. Now we can go to multiply. 55 twelfths. Now that's very top heavy. So I have to think how many 12s are hiding in there to make a whole number. So I know that 4 times 12 is 48. So I've got 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. So there'll be 7 left over and bring the 12 over. So then my answer is 4 7 twelfths. And we're not going to worry about this page. Let's start our homework, shall we? Okay. Multiply writing simplest form, and we are not going to do a model because that would just take way too much time. So first thing you do is you have to turn it into an improper fraction. So you only have one numerator and one denominator for each number. Do the C method, times and plus. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16 over 3. That means the same as 5 1 thirds. All right, next one, C method. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5 fourths. Ooh, I know I can see I can simplify that one. 4 will go into 16 4 times. So then I have 4 times 5 is 20. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 will go into 20, not quite 7 times, but it will go to 6, which is 18, 19, 20. There's 2 left over. And 3 is my denominator. Okay, C method where we multiply and plus. 5 times 1 is 5, 6, 7. 7 over 5. C method times plus. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19 sixths. Looking at that, I don't see anything I can simplify, so I'm going to use this board up here to do some work. 19 times 7. Definitely can do some simplifying. So 30 will go into 133. Let's see, I know there's at least 3 30s and 100 plus another one, so that's going to be at least 4. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 0. Okay, so then I've got about 13 that's left over. So it's going to be 4 and 13 30ths. What a bizarre number. Yep, that's what the book says. Okay, number 3, C method, multiplication, addition. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 1 is 57 eighths. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 5 is 17 sixths. Looking at that, I don't see anything we can simplify. Oh boy. Okay, so we have to do 57 times 17. 7 times 7 is 49. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Now I'm doing this section so that I do a placeholder 0. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 5 is 5. Add them together. 969. Oof. So this is going to be 969 and 48. This is where I'm going to pull out my handy dandy calculator, because you guys have one too. See if you can beat me. 969 divided by 48. It'll go into it at least, let me fix that, at least 20 times. So then I do 20 times 48 equals 960. So 969 minus 960 is 9. So I have 9 left over, and I bring the 48 over. And that can be simplified down to 20 and 3/16. Oof, that's crazy. Because, yeah, 9 we divide by 3, 48 divided by 3. Yep, so they would have divided both of these by 3 to get 20 and 3/16. What a hard number. Goodness sakes. It gets easier, I promise. The table shows some ingredients in lasagna. If you need to make 3, remember 3 also looks like that, times the recipe. How many cups of cheese are needed? Cheese. Okay, here's cheese. So we need to turn that into improper fraction so we can multiply it. So let's do the C method. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 7, 8. 8 thirds times 3. And whenever we do something like that, we can just go over 1. And I can see somewhere where we can simplify, can you? There we go. So we have 8 times 1 is 8 over 1 equals 8 cups of cheese. Karen purchased a square picture frame. So a square picture frame. Each side measures 1 1/4. What is the area? Now, area is length times width equals area. So we need to do 1/4 times 1/4. So we need to do the C method to figure out what that is. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So it's 5/4 times 5/4. I can't cross simplify, so we're just going to multiply across. 25/16. I know there's at least one whole number in that. 16 plus 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is going to be 9, and then the denominator is 16. But that can be simplified down. Nope, it can't. It can't, so it's going to be square feet. Brain builders. Okay, now remember there's at least 3 or 4 steps in this. Marty takes 1 1/4 hours to get ready for school. If 1/5 of that time, following me here, is used to shower, and 1/3 of that time is used to eat breakfast, how long does it take him to shower? Okay, first of all, we have 2 different equations here. We have 1 and 1/4 times 1/5, and that is to shower. And then to eat breakfast is 1 and 1/4 times 1/3. Okay? Then, after you find the answer, you add the answers to get your final answer. See, this is quite the layered problem. So let's figure it out. So let's do the C method. 1 and 1/4 is very similar because we just did it up here. So it's going to be 5/4 because 1 and 1/4. If we do the C method, 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5, 5/4. So 5/4 times 1/5 is our first one for showering. I can simplify that. So I have 1/4. Okay, and breakfast, again, is 1 and 1/4, which we know works out to be 5/4 because it's the same problem we're using, times 1/3. 5 times 1 is 5. 4 times 3 is 12. 5/12. Now, how long did it take him to shower and eat breakfast? Okay, so now we have 5/12, which is to eat breakfast, and to shower is 1/4. We need to find a common denominator, which is 12. And add them. There we go. Now they are equivalent. These are equivalent to these. So now we can add them because they have the same denominator. So 5 plus 3 is 8/12. Simplify that now. 8/12 will simplify down to, let's see, 4. We can divide them both by 4. 2/3. Oof. So the answer is going to be 2/3 of an hour. Crazy. Okay, Callisto built a rectangular sign that is measured. Oh, this one's tricky. Okay, so rectangular sign, rectangular. It's measured 2 3/4 feet in length. The width of the sign is short. So the width is minus 1 1/4 feet shorter than the length. To find the area, multiply the length times the width. So what we do to set it up is that we're going to say 2 3/4, which is the length, which we understand. And we times that, so that's the width. The length, that's the length, times the width. Well, we don't know the width. So the width, though, is going to be 2 3/4 minus 1 1/4. That's going to be the width, and that'll equal the area. So let's look at this for a second. This right here is a simple subtraction problem. Can we take 1 from 3? Yeah. 2/4. And then 1 from 2 on the whole number is 1 left over, right? So this right here is really 1 2/4. Now I'm not going to simplify it because I noticed that denominator is the same as that denominator. So let's see how this works. 2 3/4 times 1 2/4. Okay, we have to put them in mixed numbers. So let's do the C method. 4 times 2 is 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11/4 times 4 times 1 is 4, 5, 6. 6/4. Ooh, crazy. Now we're going to simplify. 2 will go to that twice. 2 will go to that 3 times. So 11 times 3 is 33. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, that's definitely top heavy. 8 will go into that at least 4 times. And there's 1 left over, 1/8. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and erase this little bit of work right here, because that's where I'm going to write my answer. 4 1/8. What are we measuring? Square feet. That was crazy. Antoinette bought 2 2/3 pounds of grapes and 1 1/5 pounds of apples. If she bought bananas that weighed this many times as much as the grapes, how much did the bananas weigh? Okay, we can figure that out. So the grapes and apples, if she bought bananas that weighed as that much of the grapes. So bananas are, here's the grape weight, and bananas weigh 1 1/4 times as much as the grapes. So we really don't even need to know what the apples weigh, so we can even just cross that out. How much did the bananas weigh? Okay, we have to do the C method to get them into a mixed number. So 3 times 2 is 6, 7, 8. 8/3. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Okay, now we can multiply across. Oh, I can simplify first. You see that? 4 will go into 4 once. 4 will go into 8 twice. So we have 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, that's definitely top heavy. 3 will go into 10 at least 3 times with 1 left over. Do you see an answer left over with that? Yep, you got it. Congratulations, that was a very tough lesson and you guys survived. Nicely done.